What's up, world? I'm Tahir Moore.
And I am Patrick Cloud.
And this is The Internet is Undefeated. Cue the music.
Hey, drop it. Internet's undefeated.
Come on.
I want to hug you. Put your hands in the air.
Hey.
Internet's undefeated. When the internet's undefeated. I want to hug you. Put your hands in the air. Internet's undefeated.
Wait, what? Did we change the word?
Internet's undefeated.
Oh, okay. You went.
I write it undefeated with air.
Okay.
We have a special guest today.
We do.
What up?
What's up? Oh, I wasn't gonna.
I thought this was a handshake. I'm
no.
sorry.
What the hell?
I'm very awkward on camera. Don't judge me.
He opened up with the jazz hands. It's Will Pharaoh.
What
Hey,
up?
guys.
What up? How y'all
What's going
doing?
on, sir? We doing all right.
Glad to be on here.
Hey, man.
For
glad to have
sure.
you.
And yeah, Teddy versus Doughboy season 2 is in production right now. So we got Tahir Moore holding it down.
You goddamn right
style.
you do.
Wait, I was
You
supposed to do this right here.
Okay.
Holding it down, squad style.
You goddamn right you do.
My soundboard is evolving on camera.
I see that.
It's not it's baby steps.
Hey, man, you got to start somewhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you've been on tour, man. You've been
man.
kind of rocking these stages out
Yeah,
here,
man,
right?
it's been going great, man. We got like 82 cities, and I don't even know how many we've done, but it's been phenomenal. Shout out to all the cities we've been to, man.
Okay.
Shout out to Huntsville. Huntsville came through and showed up.
Huntsville.
Huntsville, Alabama, man.
That
It
sounds
showed
like
up.
a very scary place.
You know what? I am always a little afraid of the Deep South.
Huntsville.
But, yeah, it sounds like they go hunting with nooses down there, but it was really pretty chill. It was really pretty chill. Had
Were
a good
gas
time over
station
there.
stops? I always imagine like gas station stops is the worst, like the worst of the worst.
As soon
That's
as you
where
get out the
see
car, you
everything.
see, shh, how can I help you, boy?
And it's a deer doing
you
that.
know,
It's a fucking moose
It's a
with
deer
a shotgun. You lost, boy. Like, damn, this place is really racist.
Even the moose are racist?
You brown too.
Nah,
You just
not by choice.
You just gonna have him say something very offensive, but it's a compliment. Like, goddamn it, I saw that color boy at that comedy show last night, and I tell you,
He was
that boy
funnier than
has
a coon in the bag.
Like, damn. Well, thank you.
But it's cool, man. They really showed out, and they showed up, and it was a lot of fun, man. So shout out to
Huntsville.
Alabama.
And
Huntsville and Birmingham.
you had some fans draw us.
Yeah, man. They
Look,
they did a picture of me, you, Meg. I think Kev got one with Mrs. Kev on stage.
They got the gums.
my gums is ridiculous.
Right. The teeth ain't sharp enough.
They actually made my teeth bigger than they are in real life. I appreciate that. It makes it look like I eat adult food.
That's a real life portrait because this is how I see you in real life.
As a cartoon?
Yeah, like right now, this is spot on. Yeah.
They didn't draw a will because there wasn't enough paper.
Oh, wow. That was a low
But
blow.
Oh wait, where is it?
Is it great though? The horn?
Even if it's late.
The air horn seals it, though.
Right.
That's
I
like-
can't say anything.
His air horn blocks any rebuttal that you can have when he
Right.
does that.
I like it. Shout out to whoever did it. We can't read the writing.
Yeah.
I think it's Joanne McCrae.
Joanna
They
McCrae.
got my light bulb hat. That's dope.
Yeah.
I can't even wear hats. I should start wearing hats again.
No, you shouldn't.
Just cut the back out. That's what I used to do when I had locks.
I always wanted to cut the back out of the hat.
Yeah, so like if the bill is facing this way in the back of it, I would cut like that, and that's how I wore my hat. So I pulled my locks through like that.
That's I mean,
Wow.
It wasn't a good fashion choice in
I
college.
was about to
but-
say, like, did you have any close friends? Because that's not okay. What? You cut the back out? You were just hanging out with your homeboys.
This picture looks like you live in a garden right here.
Don't
This is
try
what
to.
That's
Don't
what
try
this looks like.
Don't divert the
I am
attention away
diverting
from
this
your
attention away from me.
backless hats. And your
Flower
friends
boy.
who accepted backless hats. I love being drawn. Everybody knows I like repost everything. I always wanted to be like a mascot.
What would you be a mascot for?
I don't know, cereal?
No.
I'd be a dope ass cereal mascot.
You'd be a mascot for Home and Garden.
Cushios. Cushios.
Cushios?
Eat these and get hungry after.
Oh my God! It's always weed with these guys. Your
It
butt
is always
heads,
weed.
your potheads.
Hey, I have a fun fact for today.
Okay.
What you got?
Did you guys know that Captain Crunch had a full name?
The character?
The cereal character.
No, what was his
No.
name?
This nigga's name was Horatio Magellan Crunch.
I'm not going for that.
No.
I don't like him.
Horatio.
He will forever be Captain Crunch.
Right.
He
Look
will never
it up.
get that full name.
He had a ship too. It was called the SS Guppy.
What?
What?
He
None
like,
of this goes along with the cereal.
I don't
No,
get
not
it.
at
Like
all.
they gave this dude a whole backstory.
Oh,
These writers were on point with it.
Come on, fam. That is Horatio for
Horatio Magellan Crunch.
It should have just been Magellan Crunch.
That would have been hard.
That would have been straight.
Yeah.
But Horatio, that was like them. That was a poor attempt of including diversity, like with a name like Horatio.
I just want to let you guys know, foreshadow warning. This is my fun fact was about a ship. I'm tying it back in at the end.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Okay.
Foreshadow Patrick.
That's
right. I have a character arc. I kind of telegraphed it though. I don't know. I just saw Us. Did y'all see Us?
I did see Us.
I'm feeling artsy.
Yeah, you got a lot of moxie going on right now.
I want to talk about it so bad, but it's like I don't want to spoil it because it just came out, and I saw it the day it came out.
It don't matter if you haven't seen it and it just came out. You're not about the culture. How about that?
Facts.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Yeah.
No Peter.
Even if we saw it when we were in New Orleans, and even if I hadn't seen it, I would have still bought a ticket because I'm about the culture.
Why'd you get so serious about that?
I'm hella militant on the inside. I'm light skinned, but I'm like, I got the soul of D'Angelo McCrae or something like the blackest name you could think of.
I was about to say, was that a person?
No. Just the blackest name.
D'Angelo McCrae? Is that what you said?
Lartavius D'Angelo Brown. That's the name of my soul. Because that's
your soul has a name?
He has no credit cards in his name either.
I feel like
all my money's in the shoebox. All my money's in the shoebox. And
I feel like
drive
I have a little
box
kid
Chevy.
soul. I have a little kid soul, or some little kid named like Rusty or something.
I can see that.
Like
You are definitely
Kirby.
a Rusty.
My soul's name is Kirby.
I can see
You
that.
damn right it is.
You could also be a Mackenzie.
Why?
I didn't catch it at first, and now I did.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
Nah, it's just like a jovial name, Mackenzie.
So y'all saw Us or nah?
Yeah, I saw
Fuck all that shit.
I saw Mackenzie.
I'm so like. I feel like it's one of those. It was one of those movies that you see and then you're like kind of confused.
Yes.
And then over the next 2 days, it becomes like one of the best movies ever.
That
thinking about
felt
it.
like a homework assignment. Like I had to do some research. And
It grabs
That's
your
what it
brain
was.
and like
Yeah.
doesn't let go. Like if you see a shit, that's how I know it's not a bad movie. Everybody's like, man, it was a shitty movie. Like when I see a shitty movie, I just walk out the theater. I don't think about it anymore.
Ever again.
But Us, like I was just like thinking about it a lot, and I started watching like analysis movies, videos and stuff like that. And without any spoilers, one crazy analogy that was just right there and it doesn't spoil anything, but I didn't even notice was that Us was also a play on U.S., like United States.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there was one part in there where she said something about that.
Yeah, I remember that,
Yeah.
and I was trying to like tie in the meaning, but I didn't know how powerful of a scene that was, because the Us is a play on Americans, and it's really about like the uprising of the underprivileged that were there the whole time.
That's true. I feel
And
like you
it's-
got to go see that movie with a group of friends so you guys can all talk about it
And
afterwards.
argue after. You have to argue after this
Like
movie.
it was 4 of us that went to go see it, and we talked about it for like the next couple of hours,
Mm-hmm.
just trying to break it down. And then certain people had missed certain things, and another person saw it and they brought it to the forefront. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Right.
But it's definitely it's a critical thinker. It's like those little things you used to get in school, like the little critical thinker.
Yeah, the little people
You got to
say,
talk
yeah.
it out, man.
Yeah.
You got to talk.
You got to
that one
single
out.
out the one nigga who was like, "Yeah, this movie sucked," and you all got to bully him
That was
until he changes his
Really?
mind
That was Doughboy.
based off of peer pressure.
Yeah.
I'm all about peer pressuring somebody into liking what I like. By the way, I know it's not like you're not supposed to say
That's
stuff
kinda
like that,
creepy
but
to
like,
say on
Yeah.
camera. I'm never gonna agree with that. Cause
no, I mean like
that's how shit
nah,
comes
this-
back to bite you in the ass
Nah,
when you
this
get rich.
this
Right.
movie was good, right? Oh, come on! He's gonna take it all the way dark. I was talking about movies and such.
You got to be specific,
Right.
goddammit.
Somebody
Okay,
finna scroll
I'm trying to tell
through
you.
these videos, man. When you get real famous, and be like, you remember when he said?
I'm gonna
he
need you
peer
guys to
pressures people?
understand the purpose of a microphone. You guys like, so I was telling him.
No, nobody's doing that, Patrick. Cut it out. Don't be so ridiculous,
Podcast
Kenzie.
mics.
Okay,
These are live.
we're here.
So we're gonna jump right into the timeline for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the biggest story that we should cover is what's on everybody's timeline right now. Jussie Smollett. All
yes.
charges against Jussie Smollett
There you go.
were dismissed. Jussie Smollett, who had been accused of staging a hate crime and filing a false police report, all charges dismissed, all
Yeah.
dropped.
There it is for the
And,
culture.
and the Empire ratings also dropped. I don't know if you heard about that.
But
Yes.
they dropped before this happened.
Yeah, they did.
No, but
dropped-
after this happened, it was
Uh-huh.
like the lowest in. Well, maybe it was just going there anyway.
Well, it just happened. Yeah, it just happened yesterday. So
maybe it was just like heading there.
yeah, I think it's gonna come back up.
I mean, I'm shout out to Jussie for this because like I feel like the joke stopped when it was like 16 felonies.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were like, I thought it was just like, we caught you.
And that was
you
it.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
Then they were just like, all right, lock him up. Put him in solitary.
And that's what a lot of people, I think, were upset about is because you have all of these stories of girls claiming false rape accusations on athletes and, black players who have ruined their lives. And nothing happens to the chicks. Like, they're just like, well, don't do that again. That's not okay. And then they tried to hit him with 16 counts or 16 charges. It's like,
right.
Wait, what? Hold on now. Hold on. The chick that lied about Emmett Till is still alive. And she want to confess it on her death. Now lock her ass up.
No, she is now dead.
Well, she confessed it on her deathbed.
She died.
She's not alive.
Okay, you're right. All right. I saw somebody post that, and I was like, oh, she's still alive? I thought she died. Maybe I read something wrong.
Well,
so
if typically all the people who have confessed anything on their deathbed are death. They're deathed.
The deathed?
The deathed, yeah.
You don't want to just say dead?
They deathed already. They were on their deathbed.
I couldn't remember.
You just combined dead and left together?
I couldn't remember
death.
if she had died or she confessed it while she was sick. So I didn't know she was on the deathbed when she did it.
Well, I think being sick in the bed is your deathbed.
Well, I didn't say she was in the bed, Patrick. I just said she was sick. She could have had just like a bad cold.
When she was standing up?
Yeah. She was like, by the way, you know I lied about that whole...
Yeah, what a fucking bitch. I mean, you're not supposed to curse the dead, but fuck that bitch.
No, I think
fuck that bitch's soul.
I hope somebody
she was like him. Saw all that happen, just lived. But you know what's crazy? I forget who told me this, but they basically said that was like one of the small. Well, it wasn't a small thing. That was like one of the biggest things that led to the civil rights movement.
It was definitely.
So it was almost like a necessary evil.
Yeah.
But she could have gone to jail a long time ago. Also.
She definitely could have.
That could have happened, and she could have been rotting in prison. Also,
absolutely.
It was just like she was like.
It's like it takes those things. To
like you, what you? Oh, you! I can't even do that.
Somebody resuscitate her.
Resuscitate her so we can kill her.
Oh, ooh! I wish we knew her name.
I'm not gonna.
Fuck her.
I
don't even want
her. Do they give her name out?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure she's famous at this point.
Yeah, because she was part of the story, so her name's out there.
How the fuck did we get to Emmett Till? I'm sure Tahir got us here. You are a dark U-turner.
Octavius D'Angelo Brown.
Putting light bills in your kid's name since '87.
Well, while we're on fucked up things in the news.
Yeah, this is my favorite thing.
Oh, I feel like we are in like the Twilight Zone right now because the Pentagon actually authorized the $1 billion transfer for this dude Trump to start building this wall. And do you guys remember when the Trump campaign started to be a president? We were like, that's pretty
crazy.
funny. That's funny.
This is crazy.
And then it was like,
he got nominated. You're right.
This is funny.
Yeah.
But I remember when Harambe was, on the polls,
on the docket,
So it's like, trolls. And then it was like, I remember that moment where it's like, I think I got a text where it was like, he won. Or maybe I was watching the TV and I was just like, I remember just sitting there like,
we're fucked.
Really?
We're fucked.
I didn't know. It wasn't there yet. I thought it was
me.
It was still like prank. Like,
yeah.
Is CNN doing this for real? Like, is tomorrow they're going to be like, nah, just kidding. It's really like Jonathan White. I'm like, oh, okay. That makes more sense. But like,
you just jumped over Hillary?
No, I didn't. I was just saying like it was just some actual candidate.
Okay.
Surprise candidate come
right?
out.
I don't know. Yeah, like some wrestler came out like, oh my god,
oh my god, it's Jonathan
it's
White,
Jim Smitherson.
Jesus Christ.
But it was like I just remember it being like, oh wow, that actually happened. Like, and I know that wasn't the popular vote. It was like they asked us, and we're like, no, we don't want him to be president, and we're like, well, thanks for the suggestion, but fuck that shit, nigga. That's your president now. And now it's like, they're like, no, you can't do that wall. And he's like, I'm going to do this wall. I'm going to do this wall. And they tried to override it, and nope.
Here's
didn't
my
happen.
thing. Flint still doesn't have clean water.
Facts.
Speak on it.
It would take $100 million to replace all the pipes and get clean water to these people who are in the United States, who are voters, who are tax-paying citizens, who are United States citizens. and you're focused on building a wall to keep people out of the United States.
That's crazy more expensive.
That's crazy. 10 times more.
And ridiculous. It's like a cartoon idea.
I don't understand. I don't understand what's happening right now with the world. Like,
I know exactly what's happening. Okay?
Tell it to that thing.
This looks so weird when you point at it. Don't do that because I'm too close to.
That's
a
what
black.
I was.
This is
That's
big
what I
black.
was addressing.
Exactly.
That's what I was addressing, though.
Yeah.
Here's why he's doing it. Because Trump wants to be like China, and China got a wall.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
You got strangely more comfortable when we did that.
It was 2 hands on it. It was weird.
You're like, one more. All right. Now here's what's
why it's happening.
This is why I like it. It's kind of weird for a second, bro.
I just want to take this black top off now. Damn, near forgot my whole point.
Yeah.
Where I was going with this.
Something about China.
But yeah, China got a
So it
wall
sounded
and Trump
important.
on a wall. That's what it is.
But that was to keep like Mongolians out.
Right.
We know
was
that.
for war. That was literally for war.
That was like
Well,
primitive.
look, Trump thinks we're at war with, Mexico for some reason.
Apparently,
I don't know why.
apparently every time I say that, they say immigrants. It's not just Mexicans, but it's like you're kind of singling some people out. And it's like they say that the funds will be used to build about 57 miles of fencing. That don't seem like it's far enough.
Not only that, it's like 57 miles cost $1 billion.
Right? Like
They obviously not going to Home Depot.
so.
Obviously.
Well, I mean, yeah, that'd be awkward. So
I need 800,000 pieces of wood.
and we need some people to. You know what? Actually, never mind.
Oh, that was you know what? I went there. I went there in my mind.
Well,
but I
no,
was
my
like, I'm
nigga
about
in the
to-
joke said never mind. I wasn't bailing.
Oh, okay.
That was part of the
See, I
joke.
bailed on mine because I was like, I went to Home Depot.
But
And I
how-
was like, who's gonna do this?
How?
Hey, my friend. You gonna tell you about them dudes outside?
And they all look at him. Never mind.
No,
This
thank
one
you.
will pass
Go
on my
on
friend.
Craigslist.
No, we're good.
I'll
We're good,
go
my
on
friend.
Thomas Guide. I know that's a map service. So you know how lame it is that he fought for all of that just to build 57, like that small ass victory. He's like, yeah.
First of all, he said
Cover
he
Texas.
said Mexico was gonna pay for it.
That was crazy. Now that's when I
And
knew
now
he was
our
crazy.
military is.
Yeah, none of this makes sense. He's literally turned the United States into like a reality show.
We're like
Yeah.
the laughing stock right now. I feel like China is just over there like.
Why do they laugh only moving their jaw?
Because it was like dubbed with my laugh. It was a deep joke, all with no setup, which is a poorly written joke at the end of the day.
You need to move on.
All right, the next subject isn't even really a subject. It's just like a lighter subject on CNN. Did y'all see that girl who was in the back of it was like a report on CNN, and she was just in the back ass thotting.
Oh, in the background, you saw
Did you
like
see like she
Yeah.
was just like showing her. She was just like checking the camera. It was like the camera was a mirror. She was just like,
hey, Shawty was
hey.
caked out though.
And she
no,
sure
she wanted the Pentagon to know she had the dumper.
The only thing she needed was like her Instagram handle on the back of her jean jacket. She
She
blow
be
up
winning
so
right now.
fast.
Thoughts
now.
have made it to CNN.
Hey,
we
man.
just need to realize and take a moment that thoughts have risen through the rap game, and now they are up on a political level.
I applaud it. You know,
That's
You take it as-
crazy.
It's more than one way to skin a cat. That's
Can't-
all I'm saying.
Yep,
Like,
can't wait for these thoughts to be news correspondents, letting us know what's going on, the latest Fashion Nova stuff on CNN. I'm gonna watch it.
I think this was actually during the Jussie Smollett case too. So it wasn't
Yeah.
like a high. I wish it was like a really high profile case though. like if she did it when they announced the Pentagon's like funding.
Oh, my
she was like,
God.
yeah, the wall's building,
I'm
but
trying to
how
get
about
a,
this
I'm trying
hump?
to get a little piece of that billion.
How about this hill though? How about them hills?
Caked up, shouted.
Well, we talked about thoughts. Let's talk about the respectable women.
Okay.
Let's transition into shout out to Michelle Obama.
Right.
Out here, her memoir is on track to becoming the most successful memoir ever, with nearly 10 million copies sold.
That's crazy.
Come on out here, Michelle
out.
Obama.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
Becoming Michelle.
Of all the people who have sat down and wrote their memoirs, of all the people, like, Interesting.
Yeah, now you think about it, yeah.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of memoirs.
A lot of books, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. People are really quick to say like, man, Kim Kardashian is the most influential woman on our generation, hands down. Which you could argue for.
Well, some could.
But I'm going for Michelle.
Yeah.
I'm low key going for Michelle.
Yeah.
Because it's just on a whole other level. You know
Michelle
what I mean?
has the better memes.
Michelle has the better memes.
She does.
Way better origin story.
Yeah. Wait. One that you can tell your kid.
Way better origin story. I mean, literally perfect.
Yeah.
To zero. And just like what she stands for is just like on a whole other level, like for young women to look up to. You know what I mean?
The Obamas are our political Smith family. You know, Will and Jada.
Yeah.
I think they're the equivalent of Will and Jada.
I'm going to put them above the Smith family, and they might be the only family.
Whoa, let's not.
That's a tough thing to say.
That's a bold statement, my friend.
It is, but the first black president, and he got it right.
Yeah.
Come on now.
No scandals.
You know, we could have fucked that up.
Yeah.
If he wasn't perfect, I mean, and mind you, obviously we're gonna get the comments. Man, he was the worst president ever. He didn't.
We're definitely gonna get that.
I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even listen to that shit. But when he was in office, do you remember the times? When one of our national emergencies or problems was that he was wearing a tan suit? That's how good it was.
That's all.
True.
I mean, if you look at the previous presidents, even the last two. If you look at Bush and Clinton, I mean, you had tons of stuff. Clinton had the Monica Lewinsky thing. Bush had he vacationed 68% of his presidency.
They had to make shit up.
Yo, when the towers collapsed, he was reading a book and like they told him, it was like, yeah, man, somebody just ran a plane into the towers. He was like, that's crazy. But can we turn the page so I can see what happens?
People think he did it, and he was still like just chilling. People were like, no, he did that, and he was like, well. Can you prove it though?
Yeah.
Show me a receipt.
Obama's here just G'ing it up, and they're like, tan suit. He's a terrorist. He's Muslim.
Who wears tan at the fall? People. People do that all the time.
And we could have messed that up. And the fact that you can tell a little black kid that he could be president if he wanted to.
Yeah.
I'm putting that above the Smith family. I'm a huge Will Smith fan, but that Obama's.
When you make that statement, I completely disagree with you, because have you seen Enemy of the State?
Facts.
Enemy of the State was the first movie
where
we got to see Will's true acting ability, and I was like, I am a true fan.
Okay.
Damn right.
Enemy of the State, man.
Independence Day.
I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like Obama can act.
I feel like he can play a cool role. I feel like Obama could have been in Ocean's 11.
Oh my God.
Right?
He is.
He's Rusty.
He's Ocean.
Yeah, he's Rusty. He would have been Brad Pitt's character. He could have played Brad Pitt's character.
I've never seen Obama eat. Now that I think about it, you know that was Brad Pitt's whole character arc on that.
He used to eat all the
he
time.
said he gained weight because he said in every scene I want to be eating something different. And I don't think I've ever seen Obama eat anything.
I haven't either.
I seen him eat at like the White House correspondent dinner.
That's weird.
Little stuff. I'll be looking.
That means he wasn't like. The attention wasn't on him. He wasn't speaking or anything. That means you were just looking at him.
The camera went to him, man. What am I supposed to do?
They showed a shot of the crowd.
Obama
He took his napkin. He did did the little laugh. You know, Obama laugh.
You were looking.
The camera was on him. How can I not see him?
You were looking.
Shut up, Mackenzie.
Hey, so I started doing this thing. It's called. I started doing like these hits blunt facts, and I like them. They're like little weird questions that spark interesting conversations.
Okay.
So. One of mine today, I have a couple, but can you cry underwater?
Shit. I am way too sober for this type of shit. If you're wearing goggles, yes. If you're wearing goggles underwater and you're not in a cage and you see a shark coming to you, you know it is your doom headed to you. I think I will cry and probably shit underwater at the same time.
What would happen to that water? I don't think it would fill up the goggles. Wouldn't it go through the little padding?
No, it'd just be sitting there because they're like sealed. It's like an airtight seal. Like
okay, well you took us out of the the physics that made this,
I ruined it.
that made this a question.
I love to punch holes and shit.
But if you were just floating in water's completely surrounding your head, and you started crying, what is that even?
I feel like it would burn because. Like you're in
Would
water.
salt just come out? would all the minerals in your tears just come out loose leaf?
I'm not gonna do this with you because this is getting weird, and I feel like my
Why?
brain is tripping right now.
I feel like
Trying to understand this.
You wouldn't
brain
see like little drops come out.
Water would come out. You just wouldn't see it.
You wouldn't feel it either.
Yeah, so it would be like
Well,
almost.
yeah, you wouldn't see it. You wouldn't see it if you weren't underwater either.
I feel like they just come out like if you was in space and like the drops just like, but you ain't seeing it, but it's just like coming right here because you in the water.
I feel like it would burn because I feel like tear ducts are like only exposed when the tears actually come out. Otherwise, they would be closed. So if they're open,
that would definitely.
What is
burn.
crying? By the way, what the fuck happens? What is crying?
I don't know. I ain't cried since I was 16.
I didn't prepare for these questions. This is why you should send an agenda.
What is crying? Let's figure this out. Because not what is crying for. What kind of lonely ass question is that?
Yeah, ours is completely different.
Google, hey, low key, Google be showing you how weird people are.
Oh yeah.
You just be typing like what is, and it'd be like, what is the consequence of sticking a drumstick up your ass? And you're like, whoa, who's searching that?
Who did that? That is not okay.
You just type like two things, and it'll be like, what happens when? And it's like, what happens when you put a fucking piece of chocolate on your girlfriend's titties? I don't know. It's just like people are really fucking
Google
weird
will
out
embarrass
here.
you too if you don't know how to spell. You spell
yeah.
something wrong, and it comes back in purple. Did you mean? Like, bitch, you know what I meant.
Exactly.
I spelled it phonetically.
Right.
Just bring up
Right?
the results. You don't have to
Dumbass.
highlight it. It could be still in the black font. They do it in the purple to make you feel like a dick.
Right.
I wish they should like. I wish they put like a little picture there to go with it. Like, did you mean like like
No,
a little judgy picture?
Ironically, before Google, Ask Jeeves was a search engine.
I remember the little butler.
He used to do that. So if you didn't
So he
know,
got
there
fired.
would be a picture right there like, did you mean?
I remember Jeeves. That was my
Just
nigga.
have a GIF right there, like.
Ask Jeeves was more personal because I felt like I was asking a person, not a machine.
Yeah, I think that's what they wanted.
All right, so this is what crying is. All right, so what happens when you cry exactly? A salty fluid chock full of protein, water, mucus, and oil is released from the lacrimal gland in the upper outer region of your eye. So this fluid, known as tears, then flows down the surface of your eye, across your face, and smears your mascara. Oh, they tried to put a little joke in there.
Make it
Thanks,
light.
howstuffworks.com, little
I'm gonna tell you
transition.
something. I am impressed that Patrick did that aloud. I would have had to like read it to myself a couple times.
Oh, yeah, that's why I have the laptop.
I just wouldn't have done it at all.
Reading aloud after like high school or college or after you've been out of like school for so long, that shit is a chore. You be like, what is that? Why does it look like that?
So I'm not the only one that does that.
No, man, I'd be tripped up, man. I'm glad I never got asked to read aloud at church because I would have fucked up so many words and just would have ended up saying, "Fuck it, find somebody else." I can't do this shit. It's too much pressure, Pastor.
Jesus know my heart. Shit.
That's weird. So it's salt. It's a salty fluid with protein, water, mucus, and oil.
Where does the body go to pull all of that shit, separate shit?
Is that
Where's
the
it get
same-
the oil from?
I don't know. Is it the same thing that sweat is made out of?
Well, why are we crying? But what is the purpose of having to do
Oh, well,
it?
here's the thing. There's 3 types of tears. It's not all emotional. There's basal tears, which is omnipresent in our eyes. What the fuck that means. And these are constant tears, which keep our eyes from drying out completely.
Yeah.
So basically, that's like that's what it means by omnipresent. So we're always crying.
Yeah.
We're always crying, guys. And that's just
So
what
moist
keeps
ass up.
that's what just keeps you. That's what keeps you wet. That's what keeps your eyes juicy and
You
ready.
hear that, ladies?
what I'm saying?
You're always moist and you're always wet.
When you're talking to me, I'm getting your basils going. Your basal tears.
Ladies hate the word moist.
Why do they? Well, they just hate when you say it. They just hate when you say stuff.
Me?
Yeah,
Personally?
just period. Yeah.
Damn.
They singled it out on the word moist, but I think they just mean your speech.
I hate your hair.
The second type is reflex tears, which serve to protect the human eye from harsh irritants. So that's like smoked onions, even a strong dusty wind, or must, like
That makes
what's coming
sense.
from
That makes
that
sense.
side of the table.
Fuck you, Pat.
Wait, what?
You got a smart ass mouth on you today, Mackenzie.
And then there's emotional tears, which is where sadness is registered, and that's just when
Pat opens
Niggas
his
is
eyes
crying.
every morning.
when
Sad whore.
I wake up crying at 4 a.m.
Wake
But they
up,
forgot-
cheeks wet as fuck.
They forgot the fourth type, which is fat people tears, and that's when just you see big people just crying, and you're like, "What's wrong?" They're like, "Nothing," and you're like, "What?" You ever seen a big dude just crying for no reason?
That's fucked up to talk about Doughboy like that when he's not here to defend himself.
Y'all be crying?
No.
I feel like I
know
always
what you're saying. Like I've seen Teddy do it a couple times, just wipe it.
They just wipe it.
And it's just like, what's going on? They're like, no, nothing.
He's just thinking about something.
No,
related to food.
I don't think it was emotional. I think it's just.
That's what I'm saying. He's thinking about something related to food. That's different. That's more of a hunger.
It's just over excess, flushing itself out.
It's a pleasure cry.
All right, so moving right along, there's a weird hashtag, and I posted a video about it, and it's weird. It's 50-50.
Yeah, I saw that one.
It's 50-50. Half of me is getting drugged, half of me is getting praised. This whole surviving Cardi B thing that's going on right now. Apparently, there's an old ass live that was dug up about her admitting to some stuff that she used to do back in the days before she was a rapper. So what she said is she had to go strip. She said, "Oh yeah, let's." She said you used to go back to the hotel. She drugged niggas up and robbed them. That's what I used to do. So I guess she used to say she was going to fuck them, take them back to the hotel, drug them, and rob them.
Wow.
So now under every comment, I'm seeing all this stuff like, are we going to pretend like Cardi B isn't a rapist? Surviving Cardi B. Everybody's calling her a rapist. Everybody's saying XYZ. And I think that everybody's saying she's canceled. I think this shit is so dumb. First of all, the cancel culture is we do it on the show to be ironic because it's called the internet is undefeated.
Right.
But it's if you're gonna cancel somebody, it should be for a reason. You know what I mean?
Rape is a reason.
But that's not. Is that rape? She never said she raped anybody.
It's theft.
It's theft.
That's about it.
But it's she's also a rapper who talks about beating people up and taking their nigga. And it's are we doing this because she's a woman or because it's 2019 and everybody needs to be
held accountable?
Right, because it's 50 Cent, one of my favorite rappers, started his career by talking about all the niggas he robbed at gunpoint.
How to rob.
Yeah,
niggas get on and they talk about shooting people and all this stuff. And it's what are we upset about here? Is it because she robbed them? Are they fixated on the drugging part? Because in my mind, she didn't drug them and have sex with them. She drugged them to knock them out and take their money, which in my opinion is leaving them as helpless as putting a gun on them and saying, I'm going to kill you if you don't give me your money.
That is pretty helpless. Now,
you know what I mean?
I want to address something I just heard. You said 50 Cent is currently one of your favorite rappers?
No.
Okay.
Get Rich or Die Trying is one of my favorite albums of all
that
time.
album.
There we go.
I was like
yes.
right now?
No.
That is impressive.
No. That was a weird thing to slip in there.
You just glazed over it. I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Wait, slip in there.
You say what?
I guess. What would be a better example?
Well, I want to know how do you rob someone? If you're a stripper, they sing you at the club. They say, hey, can I get something after this? And you say, yeah. And then you drug them and rob them. But you go right back to that strip club. I don't necessarily believe that's exactly what that.
You just wake up and go to her shift.
Yeah, bitch, I'm coming to get you
where's
later
glitter?
on tonight. I'm gonna order
Where
these
the fuck is
wings.
glitter?
Yeah, I'm gonna order these wings. As soon as you go on stage, I'm gonna throw a brick at your face. I don't believe necessarily that's how that
hilarious.
happens.
I never thought about that.
I always break shit down logically. How the fuck? Unless she's going out of town, because I know sometimes dancers do go out of town,
right,
and do different club guest spots. And
she was
shit.
a guest spot.
She did a guest spot.
Out of town strippers.
Yeah.
They tour.
They literally go. Yeah.
Strippers tour.
Yes,
man.
nigga.
Damn.
I know a few chicks at Onyx.
Malaya is in Houston, but she would go to Atlanta for a weekend and get the bag there, and then she'll go to Miami for a weekend. Yeah, that's a
Is
thing.
there ever do they ever do it on a tour bus?
No, they typically fly.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
It's like stand up. So it'd be I got a show in Chicago, and then I go to New York, and then I go down to Atlanta. It'd be like that.
It's a similar work ethic, I guess, to a certain degree, but it's a little different because we don't take our clothes off.
Do strippers have headliners? Because they go.
They have opening acts. That people go up before if they're there for the weekend.
Well, opening act just.
They do have.
The only requirement is that there was no show before that.
Yeah.
So somebody goes up before. Yeah.
If she go to Miami, she would be the headliner. She would be the main one on the show.
Oh, the girl on the flyer.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's the one.
I am not a
strip culture.
Yeah, I'm not in the strip culture at all.
I'm not either. I'm really not. I
didn't really like it when I went.
I don't like it because it just feels.
The ass
it
was
feels
cool.
kind of weird and rapey and kind of.
I felt
slavey.
like a little deer in on a safari. It was really weird. I was being hunted, and it was I felt like a piece of meat.
You look artsy, so they probably thought you had money and shit.
Well, it was like
motherfucker right here.
Well, when the first time I was going, I was just auditing. I knew I wasn't trying to spend no money.
Who the fuck says I was auditing a strip club?
So they would come over and they would like do the whole thing, and then and they're good at it. Like,
hey, baby, you want to dance?
They'll make you think like they like you and stuff like that. And then when I made it very clear, they'd be like, damn, candy.
I didn't have my dad in my life, so I don't know what to do in these awkward situations. Like, I be sitting up there trying to have a real conversation. Like, so what was the last book you read? Like,
oh shit!
And they don't really want to. I don't know what to do with my hand. It just feels weird.
What's the last book you read? You know that's a weird question even outside of the strip club.
No. They ask you stuff like that too, though.
Yeah, society.
The fuck is talking about literature?
Hey, they ask you stuff like that.
Niggas talking about J.R.R. Tolkien and fucking ass and clam.
Listen, depending on who you work and run into, ass and clam.
Society tells you to keep your hands off of women. Don't ever like disrespect women. And then here's this one place, this oasis where it's completely okay. And I just don't be knowing what to do with my hands.
I also hear you get beat the hell up if you touch them.
Yeah, in some places you can't touch them.
Yeah, you have to ask.
Inappropriately, but I also hear that some niggas be just having sex with the girls.
Yeah, you could pay for that too.
Yeah. The champagne
room. It's a lot, man. You got to just go. Like every city, every club, all have their own set of rules that are different.
I feel like also I'm in LA, so it's like not even worth it. The first one I went to was like off Overland. It was like a white strip club.
Oh yeah, that ain't even fully nude.
Yeah. It was even like girls. It was like not enough poles. There was just girls. LA
has weird strip clubs, man. Like you go to other places and they got fully nude strip clubs. Here is only one place that has only one I'm familiar of that has a fully nude strip club. But if it's fully nude, then they can't serve alcohol. So you have to go upstairs to like a special room to get the full nude dance. So there's no alcohol involved. But you can take your drink upstairs. Man. So it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, what's even the point?
I feel like the strip clubs out here are like them Coyote Ugly, like trucker strip. I love rock and roll. Some tied in doo-wop, baby. And you got like the girls who don't got ass like that, so they just be swinging their hair.
Yeah. I went to one in Oklahoma City, and like I never understand how
Oklahoma
chicks dance.
City.
Yeah, I don't understand how chicks dance strippy to like rock songs. Like I just don't.
American Woman.
That is the weirdest thing.
It's so weird to dance to strip dance to like rock, like pop and rock. Like
that's a weird culture. I feel like all the strip club music in those clubs also can share music with like wrestling music.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
It's the same artist.
Coming out to Generation X.
Are you ready?
She's coming from the ceiling like Sting to just dance. Like, man, get your goof ass out of here with that paint on your face.
What was Hulk Hogan's? It was
I am a real American.
It's so bad. I don't want this.
It's horrible.
I don't want this.
I be noticing the wrong thing too in them strip clubs. They be dancing to that shit, got bruises on their thighs and knees.
I'm
and
like,
stuff.
what happened to you? She was like, it was a long shift yesterday. You got to tip the DJ in these type of spots where, like, if it's a predominantly white spot, you have to tip the DJ to get him to play something that you want to hear. Yeah. And then you have to tip him and tell him, like, hey, play this in 2 songs, so you're going to find the dancer you want, go back to the room, and she don't try to cheat you out of your dance. Because they'll put that shit on before you even found the girl, and then you only get, because they never play the full song. The song 3 minutes long, they only going to play a minute and a half.
Facts.
So you're going to spend $35, $40 on this dance, and you're not even going to get the whole song. Now, fuck that. Play my song in 2 songs so I can find the girl and I get set up.
Can we get, like, deep, like, dark, like, black market lessons from you with all of these, like, I feel like you just hang out in the underbelly of every city, and like you just like, I don't know, like when I think of your life, I just be thinking of the first Rush Hour movie. Like I just feel like you be going to like illegal gambling rings and like
I just lived a lot of
like
life,
spas
man.
And like the prostitutes and
I've lived a lot of life,
like, hobo camps. And like, I feel like you just like you know about all this stuff in extreme detail.
Hookers in Vegas will give you a receipt up on demand.
Yes.
Write that shit off.
Where do they print?
You can write off.
They just write it. They got the little book with them.
What does it say? My pussy?
Nah, man. I mean, I ain't never requested one, but they, right ones are asking you.
Says services rendered.
Yeah. That's enough.
Why do you take a receipt? Didn't you say like last time you had your hooker talk, you put the money on the dresser and don't give it to them?
Absolutely. And
so how do you? That's why you've never had a receipt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you use it to write it off on your taxes, Pat.
That's entertainment.
As what?
Entertainment. It was research.
Dick entertainment?
It doesn't matter. You audited a strip club, motherfucker. I can get dick entertainment.
Then you should be able to write off masturbation lotion.
I mean, to each his own, Pat.
If you got the receipt, yeah.
To each his own. If you want to get that detail with it, then go ahead by all means. I'm just
entertainment. Paying a hooker to have sex with you can't be written off as entertainment.
It was entertainment and research. I wanted to see how fast she can make me come.
Then
if she does this professionally, why should I not test her skills? So you don't respect women.
Well, first of all,
that's your problem. You don't respect these bitches.
With masturbation, it's also a race to see how fast
these bitches
I can
deserve
make myself
a little more
come.
respect.
I'm not in that for the long run.
That's a race. You masturbate. You're not proving anything except to yourself. So I'm trying to prove something so I can, like, she might have a Yelp page. Now I can go and leave a good review, give her 5 stars. Now I'm helping her small business. You only looking out for self. You a selfish bastard, Mackenzie.
Damn. Hookers should have a Yelp page.
They should.
They technically do.
Back page?
Well, not anymore. That one's gone. But they do have websites where you can rate. And
do you guys get email updates of this shit?
No. I never give an email. No, not like that.
No,
it's gone? You said
that's just crash.
It's gross.
I would never do that. Have a little respect about yourself. Right. Jesus Christ, man.
Giving out your email and shit.
Well, all in all.
What?
All in all, I don't think Cardi B was in the wrong. Just to tie it up.
Yo,
I don't think Cardi.
These subjects go down a deep rabbit hole, man. We started with just canceling Cardi B and ended up receipt for hoes.
I think that what she did was messed up. It's actually one of my biggest fears. I'd be trying to watch out for that kind of shit. But I don't know. I think that if we're talking about rappers who are saying these things on songs and making us say it, and we're buying concerts to be like, yeah, I just shot that nigga. Hey, I just shot that nigga. And then we're like, you shot somebody? Shame. You're canceled. It's like, all right, we need to pick.
You gotta find which part is entertainment and which part is real.
But here's a question I had. In this story, were these dudes asking to pay for sex from her and then taking her?
That's another thing.
Because if that's the case, and it's like it's one dude doing something wrong anyway, and you just got wrong too.
Yeah, and you can't go to the cops.
Right.
You can't be like, yeah, man, this chick robbed me when I was finna pay her for sex. Excuse me, you
prostitute
finna do what?
robbed me. She took all my cocaine.
That's why it was a group of guys in Atlanta that were going around robbing drug dealers, like taking their money and taking their dope and stuff.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And you can't, like, as a drug dealer,
that's like Dexter.
Yeah.
That's like Dexter for like hood niggas. That's dope. That should be a series. I'm gonna write that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's like
until they catch you, then shit really gets crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Same with Dexter though.
Yeah.
But he would have to be like in the DEA. Like he would have to like know all the drug raid secrets and stuff like that.
Nah, you just gotta fuck a dope boy's girlfriend.
That's it. She'll tell you everything.
They'll tell you everything. So you treat them like a gentleman. They ain't never been called by their name.
Origin story.
You'd be like, Jasmine, you didn't call me bitch. No.
You pull out that chair at dinner,
like,
they will tell you everything.
Everybody by that? Everybody in your life calls you that? Damn.
My mom, my dad, my aunts, my pastor.
Everybody on my job.
Bitch, you gonna be home for Christmas.
My neighbors, my kids.
Mama bitch.
Yeah, I don't even remember my name. Frank? I think it's Frank.
I think it's a chick said.
And that was the funny part. All right, so I saw a dope ass story today. It was actually on the Shade Room. This is the first time I'm using the Shade Room as a source, but I fucks with the Shade Room.
Yeah, man.
So apparently there's this dope ass story. A scammer stole $122 million from Facebook and Google by sending it just random invoices.
He must be white.
Oh, of course. We would never try that shit. Damn. That just sounds like some shit that wouldn't work. Yeah. So, it says you love a good scam story. This one was pretty much simple and effective. A man by the name of Evaldes. Oh, maybe he wasn't right. He wasn't white. Evaldes Rimasocas recently pled guilty to a U.S. wire fraud, aggravated identity theft, money laundering charges, and last but not least, he admitted to stealing $99 million from Facebook and $23 million from Google between 2013 and 2015. It's a long-ass time ago.
Jesus
Niggas
Christ.
is getting away with shit.
Yo,
so
you got to have a plan to get out.
Right.
Bro, they were just sending invoices for items they just didn't purchase. So niggas at Facebook was just like, new printer. All right. It was like Blueface was working the fucking emails. It's just like, oh, okay, yeah, all right.
Oh my god, that's genius though.
It's
when
wild.
You think about it, that's
right?
genius as fuck.
It's I feel like it's like when you see those crazy like crime documentaries about like cartels or like huge schemes that happened back in the 80s before things were things. You know what I mean? Like when before the DEA knew what like a huge cartel was, or before they knew what a serial killer was, or like before anybody did like these things on a grand scale. Just it was being like people were getting away with it forever. So like these things just be going unnoticed. Like even that college admission scam thing, that huge thing that was blown open.
Yeah.
I hear the FBI wasn't even looking into that. They were looking into like a totally different case, and they just happened to
stumbled upon it.
And it's just like that thing was huge. So it's like I feel like shit like this is just going on constantly.
But how did he get caught if he did it like years ago? Like,
man, I ain't supplying.
They probably just looking
paragraphs.
An audit. It literally could have happened from an audit.
True.
They're getting audited by the IRS or getting audited by state.
So what is all this stuff?
And they're like, wait, what company is this that sends you up? Like, I don't know. I just pay it, man. I don't, because it's a company as big as Facebook. You can't verify all of that type of shit. You just like, okay, and, you know, this seems logical. Yeah. And you just pay that shit, man. That's fucking crazy. And but this is my thing. This is my thing with scammers and drug dealers. They never have a set number to call it quits. That's why motherfuckers get caught, man. Yep. Like if I'm selling dope,
what's your set number?
50 million. I don't need no more. I can do less, but I don't need any more. If I hit 50 million, I'm gone, bro. I'm going to Bali. 50 million in Bali is I'm the president of Bali.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about that though? I feel like it just that game don't work like that. And I ain't even saying this from no type of experience, so any drug dealers feel free to prove me wrong. But from what I've seen from Narcos and all of the drug documentaries I've seen, it seems like if you're making that type of money, you're also tied to people who are making that money who ain't about to let you walk away from shit.
No, absolutely. I mean, there's always ways to do it. Like it was one, I forget what I was watching. It was a black chick that was like moving a lot of dope. And she was like the kingpin of that shit.
Queenpin
of that shit. And she was making a lot. And I forgot who she was getting it from, but like there's always a second in command. Yeah. So you can, set that person up, like take them with you everywhere. You know what you planning on doing. 2 or 3 years in advance, I'm this amount away from my goal. All right, let me start moving this person up.
Seems like you're trying to be logical.
I am. That's how you do that shit. You fake your death.
Yeah, but it seems like there's always one nigga in the group who don't speak great English, and he's not really that logical, and he's just like, well, I wasn't making more I was making more money when Tahir was here. I'm gonna kill that nigga. Like when you saw, like
that's why you gotta fake your death.
Huh?
Yeah, fake your death.
Like in the Narcos Mexico, the dude who was growing the weed, he just had a scientist like tell him how to do like the underground water, what's it called when you do irrigation, all that stuff, and I guess like he couldn't find the water or something happened where the weed wasn't working. And he like threatened this nigga's life, kidnapped him and stuff like that. And it was just like, nigga, that was I just taught you how to do this stuff. So there are niggas who don't care when the money falters. They gon' kidnap somebody.
But just like you said, the money falters. So if you get your, like he said, if you get your second in command, you introduce him to your plug and your connect, and you train him to make sure it's still flowing as good as you did it, and not better than you. Mm-hmm. And then, like he said, fake your death. Every drug dealer should have a passport with a whole different identity. Like if you make past $1 million in drugs, you should have a fake ID ready to go.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Couple of them.
I'm gonna end this by saying I firmly stand on thinking that you guys presenting this PowerPoint to your drug friends and saying, all right, so this is how it's gonna work. I'm respectfully rounding out. Tony here is gonna be taking over. I don't believe in my spirit that it's that easy, and everybody's just like, all right, well. I don't think that anytime you are a crime lord, you ever hear the sentence, all right, good luck on your future endeavors. I don't think anybody's
it's like in Power, man, when Ghost was trying to get out, man. He's just like, yo, man, I gotta get clean. I got kids to think about, that type of stuff.
'Cause you know what it comes down to? You know what you know. And they are going to tie up loose ends. They're going to be like, all right, for sure. Peace out.
Well, shit. Let me work at the drug dealer headquarters, and I'll just be HR. I just ain't.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying. They need a front desk.
Let me be an accountant for the Crips, and I
No.
the
If
checks
you
and
seen
balances.
Ozark, them always the niggas who make the whole thing topple. They always go after the money nigga who knows everything. Torture that nigga. He knows everything. He gets completely killed by the cartel, and then everything falls.
That's way stressful than selling the drugs.
All right, well, let me be the janitor at Crips headquarters.
Man, let me
Be like
stay
me
my
in
ass
the
out of
mail
it.
room. That's what you do. Just drop the mail off, and
Nope,
you good.
Nope, that nigga knows shit too. I ain't gonna be in no profession where I could get tortured for information.
I mean, that's that.
I don't want to know nothing. Y'all talk about that shit in the other room.
There's always that. You know what I mean?
All right, in lighter news, I hate shit like this. So, Tekashi 6ix9ine, the rapper who's in jail right now with the rainbow hair.
Is he in jail though?
Nah.
I think he's actually in
Niggas
something
in
like
Arizona living his best life.
You got to call him by his government now. You can't call him
He's in
6ix9ine no more.
Tucson.
Nah, he
living
has a
his
whole
best
other
life.
name by this point. But his baby mama's been wilding out, and she's basically going viral because Blueface's #1 song right now, Thotiana. She's saying that she deserves to trademark it, and Blueface and Whack 100 need to cut her a check because the word Thotiana is all she sees under her comments.
So what? Shut your goofy ass
That
up.
doesn't even make sense. Just listen to the logic of this.
I always say you made Thotiana big cause it was out for a year. Then you played it and went on your live and everyone went and checked it out. Then let me tell you something. They want to call anybody a Thotiana. I'm about to trademark that shit, cause that's all I see under my comments on Instagram.
What?
Thotiana, bust down, blah 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 blah. Blueface need to cut me that in check.
She better stop
'Cause ain't
fucking
nobody
around with
getting
Whack
that more
100,
than
bro.
me under their pictures. Let him know. Yo, someone get in contact with Whack 100. Blueface, tell him I want that cut, that check cut.
Listen, let me tell you something. I'm not fucking with nobody whose name is Whack 100. Whack means to knock off, to kill.
He's killed at least 100 people.
You think That's what
And then he was just
10
like,
years ago, it was Whack 89. that was Whack 100.
No,
This
then he
nigga got a
the
perfect
nickname, and
ready.
He was like, I'm gonna just stick to this.
I didn't change his life. He had a kid. The kid slowed it down. I'm not like.
I ain't fucking with Whack
Why do
100.
people feel so entitled? One, I think she's doing this just to hang on to some type of sensation of being famous. Because like, other than 6ix9ine and you being his girl, if he gets shipped off somewhere, then you used to be 6ix9ine's baby mama. Even though the kid is still here, you used to be 6ix9ine. And I feel like she's just clinging on to that last little hope of sensation. Because you can't in your heart really believe that you deserve a cut of that check.
You asking a nigga named Whack 100 you forcing him to cut a check? Like, oh, yes,
Right.
ma'am. Hell nah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Hell
not.
nah.
Look, 3 things. 1, Whack 100 sound like a dude you should just start apologizing to when you meet
Immediately.
him. Just immediately.
Hello, Mr. Whack 100. I am sorry. For what? Anything.
Anything.
Any and everything.
2, if she really wants to trademark it, just do it. Like if Blueface hasn't
He
done
can't.
it, no, but if he hasn't done it, do it. Go for it. Like don't sit on
She
here.
can't prove
She
that.
gonna block it.
She
I mean,
can't
they're
prove
gonna
the
block it.
reasons for it. She can't even say she made it up. Her reasons is that she's being called it? What?
Hey.
If that was the case, then my mother's a trademark bitch. 'Cause my grandfather was
God damn.
loose with the lips. You understand me? He was out here. And this bitch done had this light skinned freckle faced little motherfucker over here the whole weekend. That was my grandfather did not like me being over there without my mom. So if that's the case,
It gets
every rapper
It
needs
gets
to pay
dark.
my mom royalties for bitch anytime they use it.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Shout out to my mom.
But like what you said about people like just hanging on to like that little sad amount of fame. It's just like, why couldn't she flip that in any other way? Like she couldn't work. She couldn't use this to work a little bit. Like it just sets so much shit back when people do this shit, and it just makes her look dumb.
No, her
You look
eyebrows made her
dumb.
look dumb. Her eyebrows.
Yeah,
she like a checkered flag.
being
like
with
a
Tekashi
race.
also.
Yeah, I mean,
All the comments are like, well, she doesn't make good choices, clearly.
Clearly. Like, why are you still on camera?
Let-
Your
y'all
dude
just-
just
y'all-
snitched.
Y'all
Why?
just be letting anybody fuck. Y'all, why?
I don't know.
Why?
It's the baby hair.
It's no longer.
Gotta be the baby hair.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with her, but that was not the move. If I don't know why people canceling Cardi B. I don't think she was ever a thing though. I don't think this girl.
No, she
Yeah, I didn't even know who that was until you said it was 6ix9ine's girl.
She's just a random girl with thick ass eyebrows. So.
All right, moving right along. Y'all know who Randy Orton is?
You damn right I know who Randy Orton is.
The wrestler.
Right.
Hugely popular wrestler. He had viral success with the RKO. His finishing move became like an internet meme. Everybody was doing it when you fly, and kind of like it was basically like the new age Stone Cold Stunner, right? So super weird. There's a podcast. It's called the MLW podcast, and during episode 49. There was a former WWE writer. His name was Court Bauer. And he admitted to some really, really weird stuff. He basically said that anytime there was a new writer that was signed on to WWE, which was also a weird thing for me to hear. I knew it was fake, but just to know that they had a team of writers is kind of strange. I always thought like The Rock would write his own storyline. I don't know why.
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely
He was like with a pen before, like I got a show tomorrow. Me and Stone Cold are in a dramatic bout. But he basically said that this dude, Court Bauer, said that whenever there was a new writer hired, Randy Orton, would just show his dick to them. In the writer's room, he would take his dick out, touch it, and then ask them to shake his hand. I'll go into that. So he basically said, for every new writer that would show up, he came in the room and put his hand down his pants, pulled his dick out, touched himself, and then said, "I'm Randy Orton. Shake my hand." "Oh, you don't want to shake my hand? You're big leaguing me? That's fucked up. Should I tell Vince and Stephanie McMahon you won't shake Randy Orton's hand?"
I would have been like, "Yes, bitch."
So the writers would all start sweating and backing up into the corner. The guy's dick is still hanging out. It's not funny. Sorry. It was just the dick hanging out. And he would be there cutting a promo on the guy with his dick hanging out for like 5 minutes. I don't know what that means, cutting a promo.
When they go out on the mic and talk, you cut a promo in front of them. So they write their promo, so they have to word it out before they go out to talk.
Oh, got it. Okay. So he said that he was very intense. You can never tell if he was fucking with you or if he was really mad. So.
Now touch your dick and shake his hand.
But then another time, I guess he said on the first day, he was about to pull his dick out. Stephanie McMahon walked in and he like put it back in, and he said he described it as a teacher entering the classroom. So. I guess Court himself, he said, "I don't know, I'm a bit of a germaphobe." And that's why I guess he didn't shake. But he said that he's surprised that Orton didn't get hit with sexual harassment.
Wow.
Oh, and I guess it was episode 48, not 49.
I'm at lost words.
That's weird, man. That's some weird shit, man.
I don't get what it is in Hollywood about people just wanting to masturbate in front of people uncomfortably. I've never had the urge. There's a lot of people that you hear about and you're just like, what are they doing? Is this the business I'm trying to break into?
I don't know, man. I mean, show business. Any audience is an audience. So.
You just get bit by that bug. You're like, man, I just want eyes.
You guys gonna be here for a moment? Perfect. Yeah. Cool. It's your guy. Yeah.
But shit, like, damn, what the fuck? WWF? Niggas is wrestling with sexual harassment claims backstage?
Like, would you be surprised at anything that happened in the WWE or WWF? Like, would you really be surprised at it? These motherfuckers are hitting each other with trash cans and trash can lids and
what we were just talking about this the other day. I was such a young kid. I didn't really realize how coked out all of these people were. Like, I was just like, man, you guys are funny characters. There was like, oh yeah, brother. Oh, let me tell you something, nigger. I mean, shit, did I say that on live?
Hey, and they were like punching themselves. Booker T said, "Nigga, live."
Hulk Hogan said, "Nigga, we coming for you, nigga."
Woo! You saw him like.
And how he hit behind his brother?
Oh my god!
Yo, the other dude was like, "This motherfucker
you
tripping,
saw
man."
The announcer react. She was like, "Oh shit!"
Shut up! Look at the manager in the back when he said, hilarious.
Yo,
because she knew.
Yeah,
but you know what's wild as hell about the WWE? There was a whole other segment where Vince McMahon said it on purpose.
Yeah,
you remember that?
Yeah,
to Booker T. He was like, no, it was to John Cena because I guess they were playing up the fact that he acts black, and he was like, all right, check it out, see you later, my nigga, and just walked out, and then like he walked by Booker T, and Booker T was like, did he just say what I think he said? And I was like, wow.
Listen, Vince McMahon.
How was that rehearsal?
That was before. That was pre-social media. Because let me tell you something. He would have got destroyed on Twitter.
Fam, all these people digging up old stuff.
Who are the bookkeepers that are digging these old interviews and old Twitter?
I don't know.
Like
I was just talking about
it's gotta be an organization. Like,
nigga,
who has the time?
Have you ever tried to go back on your Twitter?
I couldn't do it.
I was like, maybe I should, I've been saying some wild stuff. Let me check like all the M-bombs and horrible things that I've said. It is exhausting. It is. Yeah. It is even if you don't tweet that much. I was scrolling for like 45 minutes. I was at last December.
Man, the best thing to do if you're close to breaking into business is delete your Twitter and start again. That's the best thing you can fucking do.
That's very true.
Because you're going to ultimately miss something. You're going to miss something.
But it's so sad that it's like that. Because
the climate changes, man.
Bro, do you know how much you have to hate Kevin Hart to go back 10 years in social media history just for the sole purpose of ruining this nigga?
I mean, but it's not even hate no more sometimes. Sometimes it's just the thrill and challenge of doing it. Like, you have folks who really just want to go out. Like, when Instagram first started, folks were taking people's, like, handles and then selling it to celebrities. Like, somebody took business. Chris Brown and sold it to
That's
him.
business. That ain't sitting there for 4
but
hours.
for a lot of folks, that's business to them.
What do you get out of ruining Kevin Hart's chance to host?
You're the person that broke the story.
Yeah. A check.
Don't do
it ain't necessarily a check. It's like how they say serial killers want to get caught. Like that thrill of it. And this is why they reach out to the police department and all of that shit.
But that's themselves. That's not some random person. Like, Kevin Hart didn't want that to happen. Somebody was just looking for something. They were just scrolling back, looking for shit. And clearly they were looking for that, because if they weren't, they would have saw that and been like, oh shit, that's crazy, and kept scrolling. But they were looking for a reason to fuck him up, and they got nothing for it. Like, Hannibal Buress didn't get nothing for breaking that Bill Cosby story.
But that's the thing. He had been saying it, though. I don't know why it went viral at that time.
Right. I mean, I feel like
he had been saying that set for like the last 6 months.
Right. But it just took that moment, that time. Somebody recorded it. The right people heard it, and it went viral. And it's like, I'm just using that as an example. He didn't get anything monetarily for that. It's not like, oh, you broke this story, let me get you this money. So I do think that it is rooted in hate. I think it is rooted in bringing down people who are successful.
Sure.
You know what I mean? What other drive would you have? And that's kind of like, what y'all?
Coincidentally, though, he did get a Samsung commercial after that. Just saying.
I mean, he's also been in movies. It might not have been that. It might have just been, talent.
Tomato.
Talent and an agent.
You be thinking a lot of things. I thought I was a conspiracy theorist. He's just like, did you notice that he got a Samsung commercial right after that?
We're gonna overlook the fact that he was in, was it Bad Neighbors?
This nigga's in hella shit. This nigga's in everything.
Like I said, you could go left or right with it.
He's on Eric Andre's show.
Coincidentally, he has a stand-up comedy special coming up soon.
I wonder why.
I wonder fucking why. All right, so this brings me to my final hits blunt fact. Okay. And this one is kind of dumb. Why is it that someone yells duck when they're helping you, but they yell chicken if they're insulting you? Don't let this be confused with you guys typically just yelling chicken when you're hungry. I'm talking about chicken like you're scaredy cat. Or
Mackenzie, do you need a nap?
Oh, you say that to me like, oh, you were my auntie.
You've been fancy all the show. You need a nap.
Have you guys ever watched the show?
You want some juice?
Wait, so why is it somebody says duck when they're helping you?
They'll be like, duck. And that means like, oh, shit.
Right.
But like, chicken means you a bitch. With that.
You finna drive us down a big rabbit hole.
Tumble around the old noggin.
There's a lot of stuff like that don't make sense.
Well, duck is not just in reference to the animal. I think ducking is emotion. It's just
right. But chicken is also not in reference to the animal.
No, chicken is in reference to the animal because chickens that scatter. Anytime you walk around, they tend to walk away, run away all the time.
Oh, so chickens really are scared.
Yeah, they're very scared. You try to walk up to chicken. That's why people had to chase them around. Remember what show was that when they were running around and they were trying to grab a chicken? You got to catch the chicken.
Oh,
was that the first Creed?
Oh, I can't remember.
Cats are the same way. Scaredy cat.
There you go. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know the cat. I thought it was just like a little tag on the adjective.
No.
Hash is blunt. Throws it away.
What?
Because it's a hit blunt question. Because it's a hit.
Oh, we were
you
confused
asked
because you
it.
added an H. You said hash is blunt. So
You hash it out.
Yeah.
Or ash? What do y'all say?
ash.
Oh.
You hash out the blunt?
I don't know, man.
Is
I
it
was
hashing
wrong.
out like a problem? Like
Yeah.
Isn't that like
well,
talking
yeah, I guess
talking
you are
confusing?
right on that. I mean, fuck you.
Hash
Get your
is
top
blunt.
bun, bitch.
Hash is blunt. Hash blunt fact. All right.
While you on your computer, why don't you look up somebody to retwist your shit, man?
What, like on the computer? Yelp?
Really?
That's not how that works.
Really?
That's
That is
exactly how
exactly.
that works.
No, it isn't.
It's exactly what
The
Yelp is
dreadlock
for.
community is word of mouth.
Yeah, all right, man. Well,
gotta
evidently
know-
nobody's fucking talking to Pat. So nigga has
No,
no
you gotta,
friends letting
you
him
gotta
walk
know
around
somebody
like this.
with Caribbean origins or like Belizean origins.
At this point, you just need to know somebody. You need to know them, go see them immediately.
I like it better when it's messy. When it's tied down to the scalp, it looks weird.
Messy will be an upgrade. That shit is a disaster, man.
Come on, guys.
It's stuck. You don't want it to be like that. I can tell. Nothing's in it. There's nothing holding that bun up. That's just how it is.
I like it.
I
Shut your
like
mouth.
it.
Shut your mouth.
Pat, you are uniquely you. Okay.
Yeah, that is true. I've never met another person like Pat. Multi-talented, organized.
Okay, don't just turn this into an intervention.
He's a good
with
guy,
the
but he has
compliment
a
sandwich.
fucked up hair.
I don't
He
need
needs
a
to do something
compliment
about it.
sandwich.
You-
We are at the conspiracy corner. Cue the eerie music. Ba da 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 da.
We can't afford music.
I had to aggressively do that just to transition.
I was just dodging.
All
shit
right.
Like it was coming.
This one is like a wonder ball of conspiracies because I'm gonna give you the topic and then we're gonna open it up and there's multiple conspiracies. They're little tiny ones, but I think it's V-tight, and it is all around the Titanic.
Damn it!
He
Not the
brought it back-
Titanic,
Brought it
Pat.
back to the ships. You see what he did there?
Oh,
He
yes.
told you up top he was gonna do it.
Ha 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 ha. So this is the History
laugh.
Channel's.
You keep getting the dude to laugh.
This is the History Channel's craziest Titanic conspiracy theories. So, backstory. In the late evening of April 14th, 1912, the RMS Titanic hit an iceberg and sank into the icy waters of the North Atlantic, killing 1,500 of the 2,000 passengers. I kind of fucked those numbers up. The crew members and passengers and crew members aboard. To make sense of this tragic and seemingly random disaster, people all over this past century have told stories of ominous signs of bad luck that were supposedly ignored beforehand, or spun elaborate conspiracy theories to explain the real reason it sank. Bum, bum, bum. Paul, stop putting music behind these things. It doesn't sync up.
Oh, okay. That explains
All right,
it.
so number one, and this one is very interesting. J.P. Morgan, the millionaire banker.
Right.
They're saying that according to this theory, he planned the disaster to kill his rivals. So a little unknown fact is that the millionaire banker J.P. Morgan was supposed to be on the Titanic, but changed his mind shortly before it took off. So that's basically what this theory is hinged in. It doesn't really offer any explanation for like how he caused the ship to hit an iceberg, but there was a bunch of his rival millionaire friends on that boat that went down.
So he killed 1,500 people just to kill 7?
Rich white people.
Hitler killed a whole bunch of people because he didn't get into art school.
Well,
I feel like it was a little deeper than that. Jesus Christ. Don't attach that type of shit to me.
What? Not to you. It's
Jesus
to-
Christ.
It's
It's
the Titanic.
him.
Putting your Holocaust. Okay. So, yes, in terms of rich evil white men, yes, I do believe that they would kill 1,500 people to kill
1,500 collateral damage people.
Yeah. So
That's
they're saying that rival millionaires Jacob Astor, Isidore Strauss, and Benjamin I can't even pronounce these niggas' names. Guggenheim all perished aboard. And they want to say that they killed Morgan killed him because they opposed the creation of the Federal Reserve, and they just needed to die.
That shit weak, man. I don't believe that.
There's alternative versions of the theory that claim that the Rothschild banking family, or the Jesuits, I guess was another powerful family, were the ones who arranged Astor, Strauss, and Guggenheim's death on the Titanic. So if we're talking about on that type of level, I for sure believe that can happen.
I don't believe that shit either.
Nah. Who are these people? Like, what banks did they
Ain't
own?
nobody rich enough to buy a goddamn iceberg and have it strategically placed at that point. You know what?
Strategically placed?
Right
These
there.
These niggas had all the ocean in the world and ran into a piece of ice. With
you
all
know,
the profession. These niggas, everybody who was on the crew's job was to figure out how to drive a boat.
right.
How the fuck?
So, correct me if I'm wrong, because, I'm country, so I'm a little simple. Why couldn't you just
Okay, this wasn't
do this?
This wasn't the first episode of Mickey Mouse. This wasn't a fucking tugboat.
I'm just saying. Oh, Steamboat Willie over here. It's not a fucking butt, man.
Okay, rationally.
Okay,
does a boat not turn?
Imagine
they couldn't turn in time, I think.
Imagine 30 tractor-trailer trucks all linked together. Even if you're in the front, you start turning.
It's
still gonna rip, and that's what happened. They tried to turn, and that's how it ripped the side of it so much because they got basically turned into it.
I felt like whoever was driving was high, wasn't paying attention, and was like, "Oh, we're not that close to the iceberg."
Well, the fact that you were referring to driving a boat instead of steering
lets us know
exactly where you are in the scenario.
Wait, when you drive a car, are you not steering in the direction you're supposed to go?
You're driving in a direction.
Yeah, but driving is the word we're talking about.
Driving is generally referred to
vehicles, you drive a boat?
Motor vehicles on the road.
I don't know. I'm kind of with Will. You might be able. Do you drive a boat?
I think it's steer or
But
command.
I get what you're saying, because steering is a word that's on top of driving. Boat driving basics. Operating a boat. Do you drive a boat or steer a boat? Let's go to answers.com. The traditionalists would say the word drive, when in nautical context has a bad connotation. I'm going to give it to both of you guys.
Okay. Well, fuck it. I'll take that. As long as I ain't wrong.
Because in nautical, it could mean out of control, like driven ashore or driven by the wind.
Okay.
Cool.
We're learning some shit. We are learning some shit. But I'm going to jump real quickly back into these conspiracy theories.
Come on with this bullshit.
The Titanic never sank.
Nah, I definitely don't believe that shit.
Can I explain it?
Hold on, yeah. Wait a minute.
But also the conspiracy theory, I'll be talking about Bigfoot sometimes. Like I just want to express what people think in the xenosphere. It's not about believing it or not. Come on,
I
guys.
like exposing assholes.
I like just, thinking. I just like hearing about what people think. So the Titanic never sank. This was actually a good one because it's pretty realistic. So people love a good insurance fraud story. Mm-hmm. So this one basically says that someone switched the Titanic with another White Star Line ship, the RMS Olympic, which is very similar.
What's the RMS? Is that Real Marine ship?
Real mega ship.
If it ain't, that's what I was going to go with.
He totally asked that one.
Real mega.
He just pulled that shit clean up out his ass.
The Titanic, so basically they're saying that the actual sinking of this ship makes no fucking sense. So this theory says that the Olympic was damaged while sailing from Southampton, England to New York in September 1911 and had to return to Harlan to a shipping yard in Belfast for repairs. The company that repaired the Olympic the company repaired the Olympic and then it sailed to New York and back. It returned to Belfast for more repairs in March 1912, a few weeks before the Titanic set sail. So, with that said, it claims that some person found the Olympic too severely damaged to be profitable, so they switched it with the Titanic to purposefully ditch the damaged ship, reap the insurance money, and it seems kill a bunch of people in the process. So if we think of it like this historically has happened in other contexts quite a bit of time. So that one I can kind of roll with.
Give me one of the times where this has happened historically in the past.
People burning down shit for insurance fraud and destroying shit?
Yeah, but switching a whole house or a building?
I mean, that is specific to this because you could lose things at sea.
Yeah, but I just don't know. I don't know. Like some conspiracy theories I could totally go with. But this one right here, the amount of deaths that were attributed to this, I don't know. I need something more, man. Well, give me something more, Pat.
It says there are holes in this theory. The biggest is that the Titanic's insurance wasn't enough to cover the Olympics loss.
Okay.
Wait. How would they know that? Who would know that?
What, that last part?
Yeah. Like, who knew that in 1912?
RMS Willie.
Fucking idiots, man.
I don't know. I'm just presenting the
Listen,
information,
man,
guys.
when they said, this is when they doomed the Titanic. When they said God himself couldn't sink this ship. God was like, oh, yeah? Hold my beer.
God's beer.
That's when they doomed the Titanic, man. You can't say no shit like that.
I just picture a guy having popcorn and watching it get to that iceberg. Just wait for it.
They actually gonna. They actually.
Wait
They actually gonna hit it. All right, moving on. It only gets more ridiculous, guys.
Okay.
It only gets more ridiculous. All right, so this one suggests that a mummy's curse doomed the Titanic.
All right, you know what?
Right,
this
no.
is the shit
No.
that I'm fucking.
No.
Hear me out.
It just went from conspiracies to fucking
Hear me out.
Harry Potter, bro.
Ain't no mummies in Harry Potter, nigga. You old. So
Just talking about the unbelievableness.
Oh, so this guy's name is fantastic. One of the passengers who went down on the Titanic was William Stead, a British editor who subscribed to early 20th century spiritualism and had spent the past several years claiming a cursed mummy was causing mysterious destruction and disaster in London. So this is what was going on in the time period that it sank. So as with other myths about Egyptian curses and Native American burial grounds, this myth played off of colonialists' anxiety about the people whose land they had plundered. So he basically repeated this tale of the mummy's curse to other passengers on board. And after the ship sank, a survivor recounted Steed's story on the New York World, and the media picked it up. So he basically was saying this stuff this whole time. He died, and then people were like, holy shit, that nigga was talking about this. It was a mummy.
So
you know what?
So they basically said Candyman 3 times, and the mummy sunk the ship.
It's deeper than that. Egyptian history is tied in with everyone's history because we all come from Africa.
You know what? I heard about this. That dude passed away, and then they told his son. And then his son, O'Connell, decided to join the army. And then he went across seas. And then he met this woman who was trying to go get this mummy.
Real
And
funny.
they were like, yo.
That's rich.
This was in the news, goddammit. It was a headline, Ghost of the Titanic, Vengeance of Hoodoo Mummy. Maybe I feel like, did they mean voodoo?
Hoodoo money?
It feels like I feel like they meant voodoo, but it says Hoodoo Mummy followed man who wrote its history. So Burns says that some people link the mummy's curse to Egyptian artifacts that Margaret Brown took with her on the Titanic to deliver to a museum in Denver. So there was actually artifacts, maybe cursed artifacts, on board. And in other versions of the story, the mummy was on board the Titanic because the museum had sold it to an American who was shipping it home. Now, in that defense, even though that's ridiculous, boats are how you take this shit overseas.
This is true.
And then the truth is the so-called unlucky mummy is still at the British Museum. So no mummy was ever loaded onto the ship. So that's one of the theories. And then this is the last one. And this is probably the funniest one. This one says that Jack Dawson is Jay Gatsby from The Great Gatsby.
What?
So this one was a fan theory, but it's actually a thinker. So they're basically saying that Leonardo DiCaprio's character in Titanic is also his character in The Great Gatsby. They're the same person. The movie is an alternate timeline where he survived the sinking of the ship and went on to build a life for himself in America in an attempt to reunite with Rose. He survives, builds himself into a party-going showman in the jazz age in hopes that Rose will one day appear, and ends up finding love with another woman, Daisy.
Man.
I feel like you got to rewatch The Great Gatsby, but it's an interesting one.
Yeah,
I like
man.
stuff like that.
So wait a minute. So what you're saying is he actually kicked old girl off the door and survived, and then went to New York?
Which I feel like he should have been done. You know?
Right.
It was a
There was
big
enough
ass
room.
door.
Yeah.
Nigga, did you see
Enough
that
room.
aerial shot of it? It was hella room.
Maybe the weight. I've always struggled with this. So maybe if the weight of both of them would have sank it.
No, because logically they wouldn't be laying next to each other. They'd be laying on top of each other for warmth. And they'd be getting down anyway, so that wouldn't be weird.
doesn't change the weight. Even if
But
you're
yeah,
laying on top of them.
it'd still be in the middle. Or you can distribute your weight evenly.
It still doesn't balance the weight. Like even if you balance, if we're laying like,
Nigga, you know how much furniture was on the Titanic? There was some floating shit.
well, he couldn't get to it.
There was floating shit.
And we don't know how heavy them doors were back then or what they were made of.
Yeah, I'm just
Damn,
saying,
it could have
like,
been the weight, low key.
It could have been the weight.
Yeah.
But he was
They could've
hanging on
took-
the shit like this.
Yeah, but that's still not putting all your weight on it. You sat on the edge of something. Like you sat on the edge of that table. If Will sat on the edge of that table, it would probably break. But if he sat on the center of it, it would break, and he would probably fall to the second floor.
I would have liked to have seen them try, because physics, maybe they could have done an X formation. They could have maybe done the edges. They could have pulled another piece of furniture and did some like buoy type of stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I would try on camera.
I think the best thing would have been for them to like swap out every 20, 30 minutes. You get on the door, you stay a little warm, and then you.
Hell no, that shit was like cold as fuck, dude.
It still would have been cold.
Wouldn't you die in a matter of minutes?
He ain't getting dry.
Right.
He ain't getting dry. You just like you getting out of the water completely, so you're not submersed in the cold.
But he might have been holding her balance too, like with him hit right here
to keep her from floating.
To keep them afloat.
Hey, you know what I never rolled with because I thought it was stupid. They tried to make it like a deep poetic part of the movie, but I was like, nigga, the musicians when they were like it's sinking. They were like, and remember they were like they ran away, and then one of them stayed, and they were like, and then they like all came back, and they're like.
Yo,
I was like,
fuck that.
Yo, dumbasses don't get to a fucking rescue boat.
Listen. Who the fuck gonna pay you if everybody dead?
It ain't
Who gonna
even
pay
about
you
that.
Who you playing for?
Who you paying for?
No, they thought they were like, man, this is poetic because not only are we giving up our spaces on the rescue boat, but we're giving them like soothing music for their last moments. Nigga, these niggas were all screaming and sliding down the shit and falling. Like, don't give a fuck about your concerto.
Hey, but look.
Your fucking quartet.
Listen, shout out
to them. Fuck's thinking about Mozart.
Hey, shout out to them for staying perfectly balanced as that Titanic went up and was still playing. That's what we need to talk about.
That's the funny part. You only saw the like poetic part before everything really went down. If the camera stayed on them niggas was sliding down and shit. I wanted to see that part where they was like, stay on tempo, stay on tempo. The nigga was like on his cello, like.
Oh, that's stupid.
I wanted to see that part when the fucking musicians went down.
That is dumb.
That is dumb.
And then, there was like this isn't on History Channels, but there was always a big conspiracy theory that Jack actually never existed. It was a figment of a sad rich woman's imagination because she was so unhappy with her life. And I also heard one where like Jack is like a time traveler and he went back in time to save Rose from jumping off of the boat because if she jumped off of the boat would have to stop to save her and they wouldn't have hit the iceberg. So. It's a bunch of just ridiculous conspiracy.
So he saved one to kill 1,500?
Yeah.
But I guess to keep history on track, that had to happen, like, or the butterfly effect would fuck everything up.
Oh.
Maybe because of J.P. Morgan. Tied it back in. And that was my tie-in to the ship of Horatio Magellan Crunch that I talked about in the beginning. Foreshadow Patrick has struck again. I'm like a podcast Jordan Peele. You didn't even see it coming.
I hate you right now.
I got 5 on it.
Dum-dum-dum.
I know. Let's get key. Sign off.
Hate
I got 5.
This has been another episode of The Internet is Undefeated. I've been your host, Tahir Moore. With
Let's Get Key. Those are the us scissors. I'm Patrick Cloud.
This is Will Pharaoh, man.
Thank you guys so much. We will see you next week. Hey, us scissors.
Don't stop it.
I got 5.
What up? Thank you for tuning in to another installment of The Internet is Undefeated. Please like the video, share the video, hop in the comments, let us know what you think. If you just want to hear the audio, follow us on Spotify and Google Play. I have been Doughboy.